Ho ho ho, and welcome back to day 19 of our Christmas Advent Calendar Countdown. We are working in the Advent Calendar by Ursula Schwab. It's Golden Advent Calendar. We are opening a page a day. Today is December 19th, and we have 6 days left counting today. I hope everybody is doing well, and they're well on their way of getting prepared for the big holiday season. Let's take a look at what we've got to do for day 19. Okay, it looks to be some kind of complicated pop-up card. Kind of like maybe like a gift tag that pops up. So it's a fan here that is you cut out, you color, you cut out, and you prop it up on this sentence here, or this card. And then we've got a bell gift tag in the corner. Let me Google and see what this means. Probably Merry Christmas, but we're not sure, so let me Google. I have confirmed that this is indeed the instructions on how to make a Christmas card that has a pop-up area. I don't think that I want to actually make the actual Christmas card. It is in German, so it's not like I have any German speaking friends I could send it to. So I am going to color all of the items and leave it in the book. I think that'll still look nice, and I still would like to do it. I did Google this, and this did not translate well, but this word is Christmas. So I can only imagine that this is something like Merry Christmas or from, but when I Googled it, it didn't translate well. So we'll just leave it as a Christmas card, and we'll do some coloring and make it look festive. This little area I'll tackle first, and it's Santa riding a sleigh. Some Christmas presents are popping off the sleigh, and the reindeer are going full blast. So it's a night scene. I am going to do it with a night sky, and I am going to put some sparkle in the sky, probably with my dragonfly glaze. But I also received in my gift box recently this black color shift. So I wouldn't mind trying that on the background and seeing how that looks. But I'll try it first on just a regular piece of paper to see what it's going to look like. So I'll grab a piece of paper and we'll try that out together. So this is Folk Art color shift. It is a black flash, and it is black, but it has a strong gold, like I would almost say that it's more gold than black. And I just used some scrap white paper because the card is white, and I want to see how it would look. I think that this would look beautiful on the card. I don't want to totally erase everything, so I will be selective in where I place it. I don't think I'm going to need a lot, so I'm not going to even pour it out. I'm just going to use the end of the cap and do that, and we'll see. And I'll start with the very outside edge because it definitely will overtake any of these black lines. So I'll just zoom you in a bit. It definitely will remove and hide any lines. So if you're trying to go over a page that has maybe a lot of doodles and you don't want to do doodle work, then this would be an excellent way to cover up. I have switched to a smaller brush. It's a 00, and I'm just doing the very bottom. I have, zoom you out a little bit. I have done the whole around the curve of this. It's looking quite cool. And also right now, as I stare out my window, it is snowing again. So we're having a nice light snow, and it's definitely a winter wonderland out there right now. Thank you for spending a bit of time every day with me and watching these videos. It means a lot. This has been a very long series. I don't think I realized how intense these pictures were going to be and how intricate they were going to be. They're all beautiful pages, but they are taking quite a bit of time and thought to create something interesting for you to watch. So thank you for watching. Now that the outside edges are done, I'm just coming in and doing some of the internal pieces, and just being selective of where I put the black and where we're going to have other colors. So kind of planning this out, and hopefully it all looks awesome in the end. Just finishing up this area and just trying to get into these tiny details. I will have to draw back in the reins and the rope that are connecting the reindeer because they have been wiped out. This is very opaque paint. It's only going to require one coat, so that's awesome, because getting into all these tiny little areas more than once would be a challenge. I'll zoom you out so you can see how this is looking, and I'll move the page a bit so you can see the flash. So it's looking quite gold to me. There's definitely a black undertone to this line, and then I am going to do this area here because I'm not really fussed with this drawing illustration marks anyways, so I'll do that, and then you've seen me paint enough, so I will just come back when this whole area is done. So we are finished with this black flash acrylic paint, and really happy with how that turned out. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to go wash my brushes. I ended up using 3 different brushes for different areas. Okay, we're back, and I am completing the other part of the sky, and I am also just going to draw in the blades of the sleigh so they don't get lost. And for the remaining part of the sky, I'm using a Pit Artist pen in Danthrum Blue 247. So I selected dark blue because this is a sky, and what I'm going to do is put on the blue sections, I thought I'd put little silver dots for stars. This is how the card is looking, the top fan area with the clouds filled in. Not quite sure what we're going to do here, but I know what we're going to do with the reindeer, so we'll work on those next. Due to the fact that these are such small images, I am using a Zig marker, brush marker. Using the Signo Silver gel pen, just filling in the little dots along there and trying to make them, and then got these little bells. They're very hard to see what they are, so I'm just gonna do them in silver, and then we've got more bells along here, so I think they'll show up a little bit more on the sleigh. We will do the sleigh in a brown color. And we'll have to put a little bit of bling on Santa. At the end of this series, we will do a recap. Well, I guess during my completed pages, I'll show the entire book when it's done. And I wonder if anybody has a favorite so far. Working on the sleigh, using a bronze jelly roll for the trim. And it goes well with this brown color. I added some stickles to Santa Claus's fluff suit area. So while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm adding some gel pen stars, just some dots around the blue area. And here's how it's looking with the dots. I think that looks good. While our fan piece is drying, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to decorate or color the bell, which is a name tag I'm going to use the sterling silver Spectrum Noir sparkle pen. It's silver, but it's actually brown, so I don't know what happened to this one, but we opened it last week when we were doing another day, and but I don't want just to let it go to waste, and there is quite a bit of glitter now coming out, so I'm not sure why it's brown. We'll just go with it. So this color, you'll still be able to write on it if you did actually want to use it as a gift tag, but there is some glitter there. Another small item on the page we might as well knock off is this little bow here. I'm going to use a sparkle pen in the color Mistletoe, and we'll hope that it doesn't explode all over me. So it's quite a bright green, and then the hearts we will do in red, but we will use a gel pen. I've had not a lot of good luck with Rudolph's nose, so we'll just use the Colourist gel pen for that. For the main card that says Merry Christmas in German, I am using a Ohuhu red alcohol marker. Using the alcohol marker for the larger hearts with the red, the same as the writing, and then the smaller hearts I'm just using a pit artist pen to make it a little easier to control the ink and not go outside the lines. Okay, we're going to make these little bluebirds, because if I make them cardinals then they'd be red, and then pretty much everything on this card would be red. So they're going to be blue, 2 colors of blue with a little yellow beak. And those are all the pit artist pens. Our little bow is dried down enough, and I can add the gel pen for the hearts, and it's quite sparkly. It's very nice. Pleased with how that green turned out. Working on the main card now, and I have pulled out my Colourist gel pens, and I'm using a gold from there. It's called Sunflower Yellow, but it is a metallic gold. And I'm using that instead of my Sparkle Pop because I need to use up some of my other gel pens. So it's not as sparkly, but it is metallic. I had a few washi tapes to choose from. I quite liked one that said ho 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 on it, but it was very translucent, so you could still see the lines underneath. So I'm going to go with the snowflakes, and well, you can still see the lines underneath. They're not quite as noticeable as with the ho ho ho. So I'm just going to put some washi tape around this and trim it with an X-Acto knife, and that kind of will finish out the card. Moving back up to the top area, I'm coloring the stars in the same. Actually, I'm going to have to switch to my Sparkle Pop for the top stars because they are going to blend in too well with the black flash paint. So I will break out the Sparkle Pop for the top area. Yeah, for sure it's still my favorite. Just working on the presents, using a variety of pit pens, and then bringing in some gel pens to do the bows and such. since I'm not cutting this out, I want to get rid of this dotted line along here, so I'm using some Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white, and I'm just using a paintbrush and dabbing it on top of this line here. Let that dry and see if that covered it up. We can't have a session without having some stickles, so let's put some green stickles around this bow to hide this dotted line. Thank you for joining me today. We'll let everything dry, and I'll come back and do a wrap up, and I'll show you the stack of things we did use on this page, even though it looks like a simple page. As part of our daily wrap-up, we always take a quick look at all the supplies used in making today's activity. Today we used a couple of Spectrum Noir sparkle pens, a whole host of Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens. We've got some Zig clean color markers, one Oahu alcohol marker, a bunch of gel pens, a couple of paintbrushes, an X-Acto knife, some washi tape, 3 colors of stickles in clear, green, and silver. And today I introduced you to a new product to me, which is Folk Art acrylic paint in the color Black Flash. Thanks for coming today. We have 5 days left in the series, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. In the meantime, have a great day. Bye-bye, everyone. This is the final look at our page. We've got the Black Flash acrylic paint on the top. We've got some stickles shining on these areas, and we've got the card below with a little bit of bling. But yeah, I like how the top turned out. Happy with the page.